And now for a look at the local markets. Earlier I spoke to Martin Lakos from Macquarie Private Wealth. Well, Martin Lakos, you've come back with the market up. How much of an influence was Berlusconi's commitment to depart?
Yeah, well, we saw that, Tiki, in the US markets where the Dow Jones really kicked quite hard as soon as that announcement was made. And there's absolutely no doubt that markets have been really baying for some blood in terms of ensuring this political unity and political will to keep pushing through this debt restructuring and bailout. And clearly markets and maybe the political side was saying things are going far too slowly. So it's interesting to see that he's made the decision to step aside, along with obviously the problems that the Greek Prime Minister has created for himself in regards to calling that referendum last week. There's no doubt that the markets are wanting the euro to continue and are wanting this to be resolved. And as we see the last couple of days, markets have rallied on the back of some sniff that this is heading in the right direction.
Staying with offshore, and what sort of impact did China's latest inflation figures have on the market?
Well, no direct correlation really, but I think it's another point that the markets are a little more comfortable with, that a few things are starting to come together. Inflation came in for October at 5.5%. That's down from 6.1% in September, and certainly will potentially give the Chinese authorities room to move in terms of easing both fiscal and monetary policy settings. Now, there's been some concerns that China was going to make a hard landing, which has not been our view, and certainly with this lower inflation, it would certainly suggest that interest rates can come down in the coming months in China and ensure a soft landing there.
Well, to stocks, and big news at News Limited today. CEO John Hartigan steps down after over 40 years with the Murdoch empire and replaced by Foxtel's Kim Williams. What do you make of this?
Well, that announcement came out after market and certainly would be seen that, one of Murdoch's key lieutenants, John Hartigan, has retired after nearly 40 years with the company. And without a doubt, from a Murdoch perspective and probably from a shareholder's perspective, Hartigan will be well missed. But there's no doubt that Kim Williams comes with some great credentials. He's done a really good job at Foxtel. So we have to wait and see how the market decides to mark the News Corp card, and we'll see the share price react one way or another in US trading tonight.
All right. Australia's United Group has been selected as preferred buyer of the British DGZ Real Estate Services. Would it be a good deal?
Yeah, look, well, there's no deal as yet. DTZ is basically nominated United Group as its preferred bidder. Now, there's got to be a due diligence process, and there may not be a bid, in fact, at the end of all this. DTZ is finding itself in some financial difficulty, sitting on about $98 million of debt, and a lot of its equity has been eroded away. But the business is actually pretty solid in terms of real estate and facilities management, and that's exactly where United Group is wanting to position itself. And if they do acquire DTZ at the end of this year, it may put them in the top 3 position in the world in real estate and facilities management.
Martin Lakos, nice to have you back on board. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tiki. Good to be back.
To the other major movers on the local share market now, and gold miner Newcrest rose over 2.25%. Banks also strengthened, with Westpac hiking up the most. In good Christmas cheer, Myer rose too, despite reporting a dip in first quarter sales. And construction and property group Lendlease moved only a little after saying at its AGM the outlook is positive but cautious. Turning to currency markets, the dollar failed to hold on to early gains and is down against the greenback. On to the commodity markets now, and in New York, oil is up slightly, gold is holding steady, and China's good inflation figures spurred a rally in copper prices.